All right, my minions. Motivation Monday. Here to inspire y'all on this Monday, and it's this gloomy, and I like the gloom personally, but it is raining. A lot of people don't like it. I like the gloom, I like the rain. And to me, it seems to make colors just kind of pop. You know, everything seems to stand out a lot better. Anyways, thank you for joining Nemesis Group. I greatly appreciate it. I want to discuss with y'all. Hopefully, something this will, perk y'all up. We all have our down moments, dreading Mondays at times, especially people who get that 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, got to go back to work. And a lot of people are in jobs that they just don't like, they hate. You're sitting, laying in bed every morning for 30 minutes, hitting snooze, and then you finally actually are awake, your eyes pop open, but you literally just lay there for like an additional 30 minutes convincing yourself to actually go to work, to get up and go. You actually have to talk yourself into it. You actually have to convince yourself. And this stems from, people not achieving their goals, people not achieving their dreams. And there's a lot of variables to go into that. There's a lot of different circumstances to go into that of why people are stagnant and aren't reaching their goals, aren't reaching their dreams, and aren't taking the steps to try to achieve it. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but also understand there are alternatives to your goals and are alternatives to your dreams. What do you do if your dream dies, your goal dies, it doesn't work out how you want it to work out? Do you give up? Do you get depressed? Do you get sad? Do you get angry? Do you lash out? Just rage out? It's a hard question, and it's a hard reality for some people. Like, I struggle with it myself on certain things. Something I want so bad, and it's just not coming to fruition. It's just not working out at all. What do you do? How do you move past the dream? How do you move past the goal? Something you want so bad. Something you may just feel in your bones and your soul that you're destined for. How do you move past that? What do you do? We also understand there are alternatives to everything. Like, there's people whose goals are to be an astronaut. Traditionally, you have to, probably join the military, Navy or Air Force, primarily Air Force, now Space Force, and make your way into NASA somehow in order to be an astronaut. Well, now, thanks to SpaceX, they're shooting civilians up into space. You've got your alternative path. There's a private sector path. There's a private sector path to everything and anything that you want to do. If your dream is to be a police officer and it's not working out for you, whatever, do private security. You can do everything you can do as a police officer in private security. And there's times they actually have some leeway and some more additional freedoms that you wouldn't normally have as a public officer. That's the difference between the private sector and the public sector. You're serving the public. A lot of people frown upon it, they look down on it, but it's not bad. I do a lot in the private sector. Future recovery, investigations, high risk, high hazard armed security. You want to be in the military so bad, but it's not working out, you can go work for private military companies that will take you, and you work your way up, work your way through the system. Me, I always wanted to go tactical and be in special operations, and I was getting the runaround a lot on much of what I wanted to do in the military. So I decided to do what I need to do in the private sector. I got into, I wanted to do the running and gunning, so I started doing fusion recovery. I really liked the human intelligence aspects and putting the puzzle together and solving problems. So I got into investigations. I didn't have to work my way through the police force and make detective and everything, and basically I didn't have to ask permission. You don't necessarily need to ask permission, just do it. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I'm sure you've heard this. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Go do it. Take those steps. If one way isn't working out, there's an alternative to those goals. You just got to work it out and you got to think it through. Many, many alternatives. Maybe you want to be a doctor and the traditional way or modern way of doing it isn't working out. Well, guess what? There's this thing called alternative medicine. I don't know why they call it alternative. This is medicine has been around basically since the beginning of time. Go the herbal route. Go the more natural route. I'll give you it again. I'm not trying to turn y'all against modern medicine or anything like that. I just think the play on words is funny. It's weird. But I'll give you an example. Willow tree root is a natural aspirin that you can take, you can ingest, and it's a natural aspirin without necessarily the side effects. It's not harmful to your liver. Aspirin itself, Motrin, things of that nature, can be harmful to your body. They have side effects. All modern medicine has side effects. Most herbal and natural medicines do not, with the exception, unless you're like allergic, you have allergic reaction. That's just, it is what it is. Sorry. But there's that alternate route of what you want to do. You want to be a doctor? Be a doctor. It might not be exactly how you envisioned it, but you can still achieve that goal and you can still achieve that dream. Do not let failure and setbacks and roadblocks prevent you from doing what you want to do. I've achieved most, not all, but most of my goals and most of my dreams, and I've just had to take different routes, and that didn't work. I had to take another route. That didn't work. I had to go up. I had to go down, left, right. I had to go in some circles. I had to kick some things over. I had to lift some things, heavy. I had to get my sledgehammer and bash some walls down. You can do it. It is possible. You can achieve it. Just work through the problem. There's an alternative to everything. If your goal is you want to do public sector, you're being in the public sector, working for the government or whatever, and it's not working out, there's the private sector. You want to be in the CIA and be a spy, but it's not working out for whatever reason. There's the private sector. There's so many private intelligence companies and they're contractors that the NSA, CIA, DIA, all of them contract out. They contract through. So you want to be an intelligence officer, you want to be a spy, whatever the case may be, there's a private sector way. Me, special operations and tactical. I just happen to know some really good groups that while, I can basically get all the free training through the military and whatever, and they've got a good history of training people to be operators. I know a lot of good groups that I can get the same training, if not better training. For one, they actually teach operators a lot of things that they learn. And that's for anybody. If your goal is to be an operator, you want to be a SEAL, you want to be Army Special Forces, you want to be Army Ranger, you want to go Navy SWCC, you want to be Air Force PJ, pararescue man, or combat controller, or special reconnaissance, Marines, Marine Raiders, and then there's recon. You can do it. If then the military is not working out, then guess what? You've got Ronin tactics. It's just top of my head. There's Ronin tactics. There's sheepdog response. I'm sure anybody who's interested in that type of work, who Tim Kennedy is, who Tulam is, Jocko Willink. These are all famous people. David Goggins. I don't know that David Goggins necessarily has like his own training school, but there are schools out there. They teach police officers, private security, military, these things. There are private military companies that have their own special operations groups involved in them. And there are some private military companies that will train you from the ground up. Not all, but some. Go out there and look for them. Do your research. Do your homework. Just because it's an alternative route, just because it's not necessarily how you envision, doesn't mean that it's beneath your dream. You never know, it could be much better. There's lots of stories out there of people who were trying to achieve a goal and it wasn't working out for them, so they had to deviate from the route and find a different way, and come to find out that that roadblock that they had that caused them to deviate and go a different direction was a blessing in disguise, and they love every bit of what they're doing now. So there's that. There's the French Foreign Legion, for those of you who want to join the military and can't for whatever reason. There's the French Foreign Legion. That is an option. So there's a lot of options out there. A lot. And this is not well known, but there are cities and towns that are replacing their traditional police force with private security or private police force. So there's that. There's alternatives to everything that you want to do. These are just some of the things at the top of my head that I know people try to achieve, goals that they try to achieve, and it just doesn't work out for them for whatever reason. And a lot of people, once they hit that roadblock, they just don't know what to do, and they get frustrated and they get discouraged and you just give up. Don't do that. There's an alternative to everything, and these alternatives are oftentimes either just as good or better than what you were trying to do originally. So, there's pros and cons to everything. But what I want to drive home for this Motivation Monday is there is a way. You might have to sacrifice time. You're going to have to sacrifice sleep. You have to put in the work. This goes back to some of the many other videos that I put out before. You have to put in the work, but you don't have to settle for your current circumstance if you're unhappy with it. You don't have to settle for no. Don't settle for no. Find another way. Do something else. Figure it out. And there's help out there. People will help you. I remember when I first got into, I was thinking about future recovery, and the only thing I knew about future recovery was obviously what I've seen in the movies and some clips on YouTube and Dog the Bounty Hunter, So I literally figured out who was doing future recovery, a training school in the area. I went there, asked him if he had 10 minutes to sit down with me to discuss it with me. My buddy, Mark Dione from Eagle Security Solutions. I go to them for all my training. Great people, great company, great people. Him and his wife, Erin. Love them to death. No, nothing I wouldn't do for them. They really take care of me, and I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, that's how I met Mark. I went there. I called, make sure they were open. I went over there, do everything face to face. I went there, and I asked, "Hey, do you have 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, just to discuss with me, tell me the ins and outs of this?" And he told me the truth and gave me the ins and outs and gave me the down and dirty about the business, about future recovery, the ups and downs, pros and cons, and everything. So I went in, that's how I got into that. And then from there, and so on, investigations and everything else, But the help's out there. People will help you. People will sit down and help you. One person says no, there's someone who will say yes. Don't let the no's discourage you. Keep trying. Keep at it. Keep driving that train. The help is there. If I can help you, let me know. Email me, call me, submit a comment. I'm willing to help. That's why I put these videos out. It's to help, to motivate, to inspire. I'm hoping that my life lessons, things that I've learned, things that I've seen, other people happen to other people, and lessons learned from other people, I can put that out. Hopefully it helps y'all in whatever it is that you need help with. That is my goal for this, is to genuinely help. So that's all I got for you. Just remember, there's alternative, and that alternative is oftentimes either as good or better. So don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. But I appreciate you being here with me. I really do. As you see, I'm here in my man cave. I might be using this location. I might move some things around, but now that I got my tripod, I got everything kind of good, and yeah, I'm liking this setup. kind of change things up from the greenery outside, and I'll start finding other locations. But yeah, alternative. The word alternative is not bad. So thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you being here. As always, please like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Follow, share, comment, all that good stuff. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all of you, everybody who's watching. Thank you very much. And I will see y'all next time. Have a good one.